Hello, everyone. It's Megan, and I honestly almost did not come on today live. I was planning on it, but we have had a lot of different things going on, and they're probably all related. So I'm so sorry that I'm coming on a little bit late. I did want to come on a little bit today because I've been working on something really exciting. People have been asking me about this. If you don't know a little bit about my story, I've been in a lot of different businesses, and for the last year and a half, I have been doing network marketing, multi level marketing, and I did things very, very, very differently than what you are seeing with most people. I looked at a lot of the books, I looked at what a lot of the experts were telling people to do, and it did not align with how I need to be as a person, how I want to come across to friends and family. And it really tapped into the sales tactics that I had seen with a lot of people. So I knew I wanted to approach network marketing just the way that I did my other businesses. And so I wanted to start to bring some of that to you guys. So I've been putting together something simple where I can share what I've done, because I don't know who's in network marketing, or just, maybe you have a business that you're sharing. But I think that if you look at what a lot of the experts are telling you to do, it's what you probably wouldn't want to be done to you. So what I see in a lot of the books or a lot of the websites is that they're saying, make a list of your warm market, make a list of everybody you know. Think about everybody. I've seen this. Think about everybody you've ever emailed, and they want you to reach out and tell all of those people about your product. Um, I have been on the other side of that. So being on Instagram, owning a hair salon, and being in the beauty business for years, I got a lot of people in my inbox. And there was one product in particular that they were trying to sell me, but I really don't like being sold to. I don't know who else feels that way. It is my least favorite thing to feel like someone is selling to me. Like when someone pops into your inbox and they're like, hey, girl, I really want to tell you about this opportunity. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be told about it at all. I don't want somebody, it's one thing if somebody genuinely has it on their heart. Like, I'm not saying don't tell anyone, don't talk to any of your friends, but the whole method of treating everybody like your warm market, everybody that you know as a potential customer, I'm going to be honest with you, they're probably not. They probably don't want your product. They probably don't want to feel awkward and to feel sold to. And if you do this with multiple products and you go through everyone that you know, just like telling them that they should buy your product or look at your video or what have you might even find out that you have fewer friends. And so I approach things really, really differently. I believe in doing things with attraction marketing. I believe in sharing with a lot of people in a very different way, not as if you're a sales sheet, not necessarily sending out like the company's videos or reciting every single thing that people say, but really just talking about your personal experience and sharing yourself as a brand, as opposed to simply talking about one product, one thing, and giving everybody that feeling that you're selling. So it's just a very, very different, it's a different way of doing it. I think instead of leading with money, instead of leading with transactions in a transactional sense, we're talking about leading with your heart, leading with being helpful, leading with individual experiences and sharing information that, like, let's be real, things have changed. Things have changed how we can do business. Things have changed how we can make an impact. And for me, I think that the internet and social media, obviously some platforms are better than others, are such an amazing, and don't mind the fact that I have towels down everywhere. The little puppy that you see walking around is having a lot of trouble walking. So we put towels down everywhere. So if she falls, hopefully it's a softer landing and she has better grips too. So I really believe that in this day and age, it doesn't mean that you can't talk to anyone. It doesn't mean that if your product or what you share is on your heart that you shouldn't tell someone, but it's just we have such a different opportunity to show up publicly and probably not only share just one product, but share all of these different things. Like whatever you share, when you have your social media, I think it's about sharing not just one thing, right? Not like hopefully you're not just sharing something that you sell. And there's nothing wrong with selling anything. I'm not saying that there is. But for instance, the reason that we've been having a lot go on in our apartment is that neurologically our dog started falling last week. And it was odd. She's older, but it was very sudden and very severe. So we've got a neurologist appointment. We took her to the vet. We're doing everything we can. Well, my husband was on the balcony the other day, and for those of you that don't know my story, I got sick from a water damaged building originally. And he was on the balcony of our apartment, and sure enough, he found that there was a let's say a slow leak, but it was still building up. There was a spray of water coming from the water that comes into our apartment. It looks like it could have, it's hard to say because we just saw it. Definitely didn't just start it got stopped yesterday, but they looked at it the day before. So let's just say this might have been going on for weeks and it may have impacted a lot of things, including my dog. And so, I'm planning on making a video because I spoke to this amazing mold remediation expert. His name is Leonard, and I think his last name might be Brabeson. His company is called All Dry. It's in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. And Leonard was recommended to me by someone that I know from Boston that was a great remediator, high quality, knows not to just spray something to kill mold. Excuse my phone for going off. That's actually that's Leonard texting me right now. That's how amazing Leonard from All Dry is. If you need his information, feel free to contact me, put it in the comments, and I'll give it to you. Anyway, Leonard is incredible. So my husband and I, we had dealt with him a few years ago, and we called him. He's the kind of person that knows you take damaged materials out. He's the kind of person that does it right. He's not putting Kills paint on it. He's not covering it up with paint or fogging it and saying you'll be safe. He does it to the T, the way it should be done. And he was so lovely on the phone call. He offered to actually call our landlord. We have they're the largest landlord in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area is our landlord. And he offered to call them. He said, I work with them. They do things really well. I'm sure they'll do it really well for you. And so like for me, I know I'm going to do a standalone video about Leonard. And it's not going to make me any money. I'm not going to get anything from sharing his information. But I have a lot of viewers who, just like me, became ill from living in a water damaged building. Maybe they got autoimmune conditions. Perhaps their kids started having behavioral or bedwetting problems. Maybe they started having memory issues. There's a lot of different things that can happen from, unfortunately, living in a biotoxin laced environment. It does more than you would think. And so for me, what I try to do and what I do is I share beyond one product, because if you approach your social media with being helpful and sharing things that are important, like I get messages all the time about mold remediation because it's very hard to find someone. So even if I make 0 cents, I'll still make a video about that because it's going to reach so many people that wouldn't know who to call. I wish I knew how to just turn off my phone sound, guys, without going into my phone. But anyway, a lot of people don't know who to call. They don't know who's going to do a good job. So Leonard also now works with a testing company. So I'm going to do a whole video. And even if it just helps a lot of people in the Scottsdale and Phoenix area, that's a video that's so useful. And look at it this way. The product that I, over the past year, so there's a product that I use that I got excited about and that I shared with a lot of people, and very, very naturally sharing it, not pushing anybody, not trying to convince anybody, but literally just coming on and talking about the product. I signed up over 1,100 people in the last year and a half. I never asked anyone if they were going to buy. I never tried to get anyone to buy a bigger package. Sometimes I told people I didn't think it was going to be the right thing for them. And yet I still signed up an unbelievable amount of people. And for the record, became very successful by helping people. This isn't the typical thing. I'm not saying, if you just do what I do, that this might happen for you. But I think that there are so many people that really, I hope that if there's a product that you sell that you're a brand partner for, whether it's my company or whether it's a different company, I hope that you're so passionate about that product that you love to share it, that you love to talk about it, that whether you got a dime, for sharing it or not, you would be sharing it. Like if I could share my product, if I could just give it away for free, I would, because it's that good and I'm that crazy about it. And that's what you want to find. But the real, and obviously I'm going to be going deeper into it. The real secret to how I shared is really just like being completely honest, being real about what to expect and what not to expect. And a huge secret for me is just that I've had tons of phone calls with people where I personally helped them. This is not, and obviously I'll be sharing this in my next few videos. I'm super excited to open up about all of this. When I first started, I was like, should I get on the phone? Do people want to get on the phone anymore? Yes, they do. People that really want your help, unless they have, sometimes people obviously have a physical handicap or maybe they can't. But for the most part, most people have enjoyed that so much. And it only takes like 10, maximum 15 minutes to completely help someone listen to what they need, answer their questions, and do the best job so they know what to expect, so they know how to start, so you can tell them how not to waste money, etc. So that's actually been one of my favorite. I would say that has been my superpower in my business. Very quick phone calls, helping people. I think phone calls, they're so underrated these days. Everybody is texting. People feel so awkward. And the way I always open it up is I just say, and it's true, I just say, I love talking on the phone. I love getting to talk to new people. And I genuinely enjoy helping people. I think a lot of people, they might enter into network marketing, and as soon as they're selling something, they feel so awkward. I don't care how you look at it. I don't think there's anything wrong with making money. Whatever product you have, though, you should love that product so much that you would recommend it to your friends, to your family. And that doesn't mean try to make everybody sign up with you as a brand partner, by the way. Using online has just been so amazing because when you share things and you share it openly and you share it with no expectations, your people find you. Your people find you. They listen to you. You're not everybody's cup of tea, right? It doesn't mean like I come on here for live streams and things. Your video doesn't need to be viral. You don't need 500 people watching you. Like I don't have a huge number of people on my live streams. I get a lot of replays on my live streams after, but like think about this. You might do 10 live streams. You might have nobody on your first few, or you might have no one on your first 10. When you start a YouTube, it's very, very slow. But let's say you get 5 people on your live stream, 5 people in a room listening to you. It's a lot of people. That's a lot of people listening to you. And what's so beautiful, like social media has its bad things. Like, for instance, I think the fact that people can just come on willy-nilly and make rude comments, kind of a bad thing, but it is what it is. But it also has really good things in that people have a choice. They can watch things. They can sit back with absolutely no pressure and get to know you, and they can decide for themselves, And so what's so interesting is I'll sometimes share things like I'll have videos that are maybe like they're lower in viewers or, they're not as popular, but I'll get messages from people about that it changed their lives. So like I shared about my mold experience a long time ago. It makes me advertising money, but it's not like anything to write home about. I have had 550,000 viewers on that video. I thought maybe I would get 200. I thought maybe like a few people would watch. I have had so many people write me and say, I had no idea to go and ask, or find a doctor that could help me with this, or I had no idea that my home was making my family sick. This video changed my life. And so sometimes it might just be that your video made a change for someone. Sometimes it might be that you get a new client. Personally, I know it's hard. It's hard to turn your camera on. It's hard to show up, and most people will only do it a few times. But if you can make a habit of doing it and of showing up and of sharing, even if you think like you might show up and be like, no one cares, no one's going to show up. No one's going to care about what I'm talking about. People will care. And people really want to see genuine people showing up, talking about their experiences, talking about what worked for them. So anyway, just a quick thing, but the whole way that I built a six-figure business was just by showing up, usually super casually like this, cotton shirt or sweatsuit in my home. Today, I didn't even try to put my apartment together because there was no way with what was going on. The management company tried to come in with no notice, and I was like, I'm about to film. Like, you can't do this. But anyway, real life happens, right? The great thing about social media is I think people appreciate your real life. They don't hate you for your real life because they have the same exact thing going on, and maybe something that's happening in your real life that you share. And it doesn't mean you have to share every single detail because people don't need to know everything. Um, but if you start to share that stuff and you start to show up and just be yourself, you would be amazed at what can happen for you with your business too, with and not only with your business, the changes that you can make for other people that they're going to learn from you. Also, this is such an aside, but speaking of, this is other stuff. In my business, I never thought I would do network marketing, but it has, network marketing is funny, right? It's got its like amazing opportunity parts. It's got all kinds of different parts. The best thing about network marketing for me has been there's a few gentlemen in my upline, and they are some of the kindest people in the entire world. And so recently, because I have gone through a lot with my health, they're just really sweet. So I got a awesome water machine, and it's something new that my company came out with. It's only for a few people. Anyway, they made sure that I got one, and it's expensive, but I got one and I started testing it. So anyway, not talking too much even about what my product is exactly, but I got the water machine. I started using it, and I've heard some pretty awesome things about the water machine. So we had a neighbor over, and he's got a health condition. I won't say exactly what it is, and I'm not making any medical claims. I'm not saying like this is the cure. Never would I say it's a cure for disease. I'm not making any claims, etc. But here's what he wrote me after. So we gave him one glass of water, and he complained. It's so funny. He complained about it being warm. He cracks me up. So after just one glass of water, like the minute I first put on the phototherapy patch that also is from the same company, I had immediate positive results. Without an insulin shot, brought my blood sugar level down. Also, my whole life, I've had frequent urination, and the 2 glasses corrected that. Instead of having to pee more after a full glass of water, just the opposite. So far, so good. I'm impressed, just giving you feedback for potential customers. He's totally not going to buy the machine, by the way. There's no way. But he was like, I'll be by all this time to use the machine. It was an interesting reaction because I have heard that same thing happened there. I saw to another person that's kind of like associated with my upline. So anyway, I'm curious what will happen with me. I did already notice some interesting changes. It's just water. They use frequency, what have you. But anyway, it was pretty amazing. And so for me, when I start to see these things, like that gives me a high level of excitement. Obviously, I can't make a lot of claims. Like I have to be very careful about what I say. But when you know that that's what something does, and you've had so many experiences like that and so many stories like that, it becomes almost like, I don't want to say like a duty. That sounds like it's like such a terrible job, but it really makes it worth your while to put yourself out there, to sometimes feel shy or embarrassed, and to know that like it's worth it, you know. So I think a lot of people, they think about YouTube and people are absolutely frozen thinking about it. And I felt that way for probably about 10 years, and I finally started one. And I still sometimes feel like that because everybody has a little bit of imposter syndrome, right? Like we're like, who wants to hear me talk? But anyway, I don't want to ramble on and on. Just wanted to just come on here real quick. I'm going to be sharing more about this. And also, if you want to get my free camera toolkit, which is kind of like it's all the information you need to get on YouTube. It's all the stuff that I wish that I had. It is free. If you'd like my camera toolkit, when this video is up, just comment toolkit or camera in the comments, and I will send you the toolkit too. I am working on I'm almost done. I'm done writing it. I'm just editing it, putting it together and putting it up. And I'm going to have my course on pre-sale soon. And it is the magnetic blueprint for what I have done. It's really, really simple. I'm so excited. It just all came together, and I'm very, very excited to be sharing it with you guys because there is so much to it. Darlene, thank you, Darlene. I want to send you the toolkit. Can you send it to me in the comments after, if you don't mind? You can comment it probably, I was going to say on any video, and I'll get it to you because your comment will disappear when I put this up, but I will definitely send it to you. It's free. It's awesome. I put it together. I think it's awesome. Let me know what you think. And then my class will be out soon. It's going to be very simple, and I don't think there's anything like it. I hope that whatever you're doing too, if you're doing network marketing like I am, I know there's a lot of negativity. I know there's a lot of people that don't really get it. And maybe they've been exposed to the people that are just going through their Rolodexes and calling everyone. Just know that there is a beautiful magnetic way to do it. And it doesn't mean, by the way, it doesn't mean you're never going to get a rude YouTube comment. Doesn't mean that no one's ever going to, like, I wish the world was perfect. I'd love it if none of that stuff happened, but it does make it a lot easier. My way of sharing is just like so much less resistance. And I built a beautiful, beautiful business. And I don't look at it like, I'm not like, wow, I made so many sales. Every single time if you love your product, every single time you get that message out to the right person, you're helping someone. So always approach it that way. Anyway, it was really nice to be on with you guys today. I will be on again, possibly later this week, definitely next week. I'm going to try to get this apartment disaster handled. But looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for joining, and have a beautiful day.